This should start. And there we go. Perfect. Alrighty, good morning everybody. It is Thursday, November 18th, 2021, and we're going to get started here with our pre-market analysis on the S&P 500 futures market. Just to kind of review yesterday real quick here. Yesterday was a little bit of a mess, right? So we kind of sold off just about at the open, got a pretty big sell-off there. And then for the rest of the day, just kind of petered out sideways. And I went ahead and threw up this little triangle pattern, you know, as of the yesterday afternoon, noticing that we were coiling up here. And we just so happened to break out of it, pull back right to the back end of that and bounce out. So we're breaking to the upside, which is kind of expected in this relentless bull push that we've been having so far. So coming into this morning, you can see in the overnight session, we did get a nice little, 20, maybe 25 point rally. And right now, if we look at the regular trading hours, or I'm sorry, look at today's price action. So from the Globex to now, we are sitting here right at the 38% retracement of that leg. So staying above this area right here, a really good kind of clue for the bulls if they can hold up here. And let's go ahead and jump up to our ultra high time frames and get a look at what the charts are saying for this morning. We're going to take a look at our quarterly, looking very strong, no signs of exhaustion up top there. Monthly also looking very strong, with the caveat that we do have a potential bearish pattern forming, but it's going to take a long time before we can actually see it. So for now, things look really strong. We just want to continue to watch this potential pattern that's forming up top here. And then on our weekly, we talked about this, I think last week, the bearish pattern that we got off the all-time high up at 47.11. And as you can see, we did get a little bit of a shallow pullback, maybe by, I think we said just about 75, maybe 80, 85 points pullback. And now the bulls are right back in. So just like we had some bearish patterns back over here on the chart, and I think I used the example of back here a few days ago, really clear bearish pattern. Price did pull back, you know, whatever it was, 90 points, and then they just continued to chug. So now that we have this same pattern up top here, it wouldn't be surprising if we did kind of not even get a pullback. We have this shallow retracement of maybe 75% of that previous weekly bar, and now we're back pushing to these all-time highs. So this bearish pattern could be being negated as we speak here this morning. But there is that one pattern on the weekly that we want to kind of keep in mind, keep in the back of our heads. On the daily here, I think the last time we met, we were talking about this bullish pattern we got off the lows here. Let me just look here, November 10th. I don't remember what, yeah, so that was back on Wednesday. So when we had our pre-market session here last Thursday, we were talking about the bullish pattern that we got off of the low from November 10th. And since then, we now are up almost 100 points so far. I don't think we're exactly 100 yet, but we're getting close to that. So about an 80-point push ever since we noticed this bullish pattern on the daily, which I have to tell you, if you just monitor your daily charts and you look for a divergence, typically when you get a nice clear daily divergence, you want to follow that pattern, because if it's going to follow through, it's going to follow through for a pretty substantial move. So if you take anything away, monitor those high time frames and follow the patterns you're seeing from there. So the daily, outside of that bullish pattern, right now we really don't have anything else from a divergence perspective to really talk about. We have that one pattern, that bullish continuation from the low, and right now we're in this very choppy sideways situation. essentially for the last 3 days we've been in a pretty tight range. So we'll see if we can actually break out this morning. Right now the daily does not have an indication one way or the other outside of the bullish pattern back from the low at 46.25. And it also is not necessarily showing any exhaustion on the push. So let's go down to our 4-hour here and see if we can get any kind of clarity. So pretty clear bearish pattern from the highs from not yesterday, but the day before that. And off of the yesterday's low, I don't think that there's a strong enough argument for a bullish pattern. So the 4-hour has a little bit more of a stronger bearish pattern off the highs we made from the day before than they do off the pullback and the bounce. So that's just kind of interesting to note there. And outside of that, I don't really see anything else on the 4-hour that's going to really help us out this morning. We do have a nice clear bearish pattern from the highs we made at around 47.0975, and then a nice bullish continuation pattern from the lows from 2 days ago. So we're kind of still stuck within that pattern. So notice we never got above that, we never got below that, and we're still, after yesterday, stuck within that price range right now. So it is a little bit ambivalent and difficult to read right now. Let's take a look, see if the 60 gives us any more clarity. Once again, just to reiterate, actually we talked about the retracement of the regular trading hour leg here, but if we zoom out and we look at the bounce from 46.25 all the way up to the high at 09.75 here, notice that we are holding in the overall picture from this leg, we're holding just about around 38% as well. So not only are we holding 38% on the micro leg for today's price action, but we're also holding in the larger picture the 38 retracement of this leg. So far, these are bullish clues telling us we could expect higher. Now, on the 60-minute here, what I'm noticing that I don't think I see on the 4-hour, there's not enough resolution on the 4. When we get to the 60, we have a nice clean bullish divergence pattern right now off the low that we made on this pullback here. So this pullback that we talked about into the 38% retracement of this leg right here, it does have a nice 1-hour bullish signal there right now. So I do like the fact that that is showing up. And I think that's all the 60 minutes going to do to help us this morning. It's telling us this pullback to the bounce off the 38% has a bullish continuation pattern off that low. So I do like that. And let's go down to our intermediate time frames and just take a look and see if we're getting agreement with that signal that we see on the 60. And sure enough, 30-minute also has a very clean bullish divergence from that low. And just want to see real quick on the 10-minute, yes, 10-minute as well, also a really nice bullish pattern this morning. So to wrap things up here, if we look to our higher time frames and our intermediate time frames, we are in a fairly messy part of the chart here where things look, we have a lot of bullish continuation patterns off the lows, we have some bearish arguments off the highs, and we're stuck in that tight chop, like I said a few minutes ago. So this morning, because we do have the 60-minute, the 30-minute, the 10-minute, and even the 3-minute over here on this chart over here, we do have a strong bullish argument from the pullback that we just made. So assuming that we can hold this low, and let me get you the actual number, 46.9575, assuming we can hold that level right there, and I'll go ahead and highlight that right here, this 95.75 area. If we hold above that, the expectation is a push, and a push to break the overnight high, break the previous daily high, and push to test the all-time high. Now we do have some levels above us that are going to be some contention for the bulls here this morning. One of them being right around 4,700 here. Assuming they can get through 4,700 and they can get through the overnight highs here, then we're looking at a push up into the 47.09, which would be the highs from a few days ago, and then a push up to break the all-time high and test this 47.15 area. So on the upside, if they do end up holding the low that we made here at 95.75, that's what we would expect, assuming that the bulls can go ahead and fight through some of these contention levels above us. If that doesn't happen, remember that in the market you cannot be rigid, you cannot have one point of view. You have to be ready whenever there's new information, which is basically when there's a new tick in the market, there could be completely new information that contradicts whatever bias or expectation you have, and you have to be ready to adapt to that. So if this does not work out this morning and we don't continue to push higher, we do have some interesting levels below us to look for potential support with the bulls. And of course, if things start to get heavy here and they start to really sell this sucker off, we have the levels to sell off of above us. So if they start breaking lower and they come up and they start testing the back end of some of our eye levels, some of our prediction points, or maybe even some strong retracement levels, then we're going to have to go ahead and try some shorts this morning. So that's what we kind of built up with our pre-market this morning, is an expectation for them to hold 95.75 and push to at least test, if not break, the previous daily high. If that doesn't occur, like I said, anything's possible. They do start to sell off. There are some levels below us that look really, really sexy for a bounce. But if that doesn't occur, like I said, and things start to get heavy, we'll have to start hanging our hats on the opposite side of some of these levels that we watch. So I think that'll wrap it up for this morning. We're going to go jump over to the member section here, get a couple other proprietary levels on the chart, and start getting ready for the open and looking for some trades. So I hope that helped you guys out this morning. Pretty much bullish above 95.75. And if we can pull back into some deeper levels, we're going to stay bullish, assuming they can get some support down here. If they start to break lower, and let me bring up the 10 minutes so we have a larger picture here. If they start getting through 46.90, was it 90? Yeah. If they start getting through 46.90, that's 50% of the previous day. That's going to kind of trigger more of a expectation of looking for shorts, looking for lower levels on the chart here. And if we just zoom out and we look at the bigger picture, 46.25 was that low where we had the bullish signal on the daily. The retracement, all the way down into even 46.50 or maybe even 46.43 down here. That's still, if we end up holding from down there, we're still in bullish territory. We're not out of the weeds as far as that goes. Just keep in mind that is a pretty big drop, so we want to capitalize on that and look for some shorts on the way down for that deeper support area. So if they get through 90, it's going to start to really look very bearish, and then getting through the previous daily low at 79-ish right there is going to get even more heavy for the bearish side there. So hopefully that helps you guys, and we're going to jump over to our member section. So have a great rest of your day, and thanks for being here. Take care.